Should the Niners keep Nick Sorensen? He seemed like he was coaching himself out of town all season. And then all of a sudden, he gets Greenlaw back, Hufanga back, and he holds Stafford to 12 points. Not too shabby. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like it's so easy to scapegoat Sorensen, and he's not the problem. Like, I feel like there's so many problems with the 49ers, and Sorensen's not the issue. Sure, you can keep him, you can get rid of him. I personally, the only person I'd really get rid of him for is like Saleh. Get rid of him for Saleh, because I think I like the energy Saleh brings to the defense. Because I think when you're missing Greenlaw, you're missing that heartbeat. And Saleh was also the heartbeat. I think he provided that. So I think you wouldn't have to rely on a player to be the heartbeat. You could actually, have a coach do it, which is what they're supposed to do. Other than that, I mean, I guess you'd look at like a Vrabel I would be okay with. But unless they're like one of those high-end DCs, who would you really get rid of them for,
And doesn't it create a bad precedent that you fire your defensive coordinator every year? Like, who's going to want to take that job? Hey, we've had 3 defensive coordinators in 3 years, and every time our season is a little bit disappointing, you're the scapegoat. But why don't you come join us? A great opportunity for your career.
Yeah. And that's why I say, unless it's like one of those obvious ones, right? Like, because no one would question it if Saleh or Vrabel was like, hey, I want to be your DC. Firing Sorensen for them would be a no-brainer. It wouldn't be like people would be like, oh, I don't want to take that job. It would be like, yeah, I mean, you had to. But yeah, firing Sorensen for God knows who else to start another Sorensen or God forbid Staley. What's the point? You're just, I don't think Sorensen was horrible when he got. I don't think he was horrible at all, actually, this year. I think he had moments where he wasn't great, but I think Kyle had worse games than Sorensen this year. I'll put it that way.
I agree. I mean, Ryan Hensley made this point on my show a couple of days ago. He was saying, like, how come everyone's so quick to give Kyle Shanahan like the injury excuse or the tragedy excuse? Like, the Niners have gone through a lot. You got to give Kyle some grace. Like, a lot of those issues have been on defense. We just saw it. Once Greenlaw's back, once Hufanga's back, once Bosa's back, and Ward is back, it's like, oh yeah, this defense is stacked. And maybe Sorensen isn't terrible now. Like, he couldn't stop the run at the end, but in retrospect, he only had 2 linebackers and one was limping. So I feel like it'd be tough. Maybe they feel like, well, Saleh's available, and we like, what are you gonna do? But it's like, it's tough to fire him when in like the biggest game of the year, once again, Kyle got out coached by his defensive coordinator, just like in the Super Bowl. You lose the Super Bowl and you fire Steve Wilks, who may have deserved it based on other stuff that year, but in that particular game, Wilks did good and did better than Kyle. So I don't see how you do it, how you fire Sorensen now. I just feel like doing the same thing as last year.
Yeah, I think as the year went on, Sorensen kind of got his sea legs, so to speak, and was able to put it together. I mean, last week, Bosa still wasn't there. Greenlaw still wasn't there. He just got Hufanga
did a great job
back
against the Bears.
And they're on 4 days rest, 3 days rest, and he did a great job against Stafford, who just had a shootout with Josh Allen in the Bills defense. So he just dropped over 40 on them, and then came and
any DC would be proud of that output.
With Puka and Kupp playing, held Kupp to 0 receptions. 0. I don't know if he had a target.
Week 3, they faced the Rams without Puka and Cooper Kupp and gave up 27. I mean, I think that speaks well for Nick Sorensen. I mean, again, Nick Sorensen has been completely shit on all year.
For sure.
By everyone, including me. And I feel like he just did really well yesterday. Yeah. And no one cares because everyone wrote him off already. Like, he deserves some credit for that, I think.
The only bright spot yesterday was Nick Sorensen in the defense. They played great. Yeah. What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to hold the Rams to 0 points with Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and no defensive line besides Nick Bosa.
Like if you hold a team to 12 points, you're supposed to win that game 99% of the time.
Yeah. What can he do? Yeah, we had some drop picks. Sucks. It was raining. Debo couldn't catch a ball. Why should our corners? Like, he had as many drops as the DBs. So my big thing with that is just firing him makes no sense to me. Makes 0 sense to me. Like, unless Sala again or Vrabel are there, where it's like, even if they end up doing bad, you can't blame them for, you can't blame them. So
Was he bad this year, or was he the one with the injury excuses? I don't know. It seems like if he finishes the season strong, which he did in this game and the last game, then you have all the reason to give him one more season. I mean, unless you want to completely like throw away the wide nine and all the things the Niners have been doing for 8 years and say, hey guys, we're going to run the 3-4 and here comes a Vic Fangio to like, maybe they'll do that. I doubt it. As long as they have Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw here and Nick Bosa, I think they're going to try to keep things the same as much as possible. And I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
some
think
continuity would help them.
I don't think Fangio and Kyle would get along either.
No,